Okay, guys, I want to do a quick video here about I made some community posts, but I didn't do a video lately about what's happened in the world in the world news. I just want to do a little summary of what I have been posting on my community posts. So here you have that fire in Hong Kong that's been all over the news, and um, it's just something that I just have it open here just to show to you that the green is present there also. Let me go back to where was it? So November 26th, I made this drawing where I said that there is going to be aliens. I called it aliens, this drawing. Okay. And I'm just going to tell you what happened afterwards, right? Um, so this is something that this is the latest video that I did. It's the shooting at nearby to the White House, right? You had it all over the news. You had this shooting in Farragut Square, and I made a point out of that. There is a Star Trek spaceship with the same name, Farragut, right? Then I released some, like I continue to talk about the top news here in my community posts. I noticed that Kevin Spacey, he has homelessness. He's in the news for being indebted and having no home. Okay, so he's been a few days back in time. He's been in the news for that. He was also in the news for something, some sexual allegations, um, and so his name contains space, but not only that, there is a movie called K-Pax, where Kevin Spacey plays the main protagonist as an alien, and it was released on my birthday, October 22nd. And I'm going to just read to you this. This has to do with what was it? G20 meeting. I edited this image here of the logo for G20. But the main point here that I'm making is that, okay, this looks a bit like an alien. So Trump refused to visit Africa, the G20, because of Boer's treatment. And meanwhile, 250 children were abducted, and the word in Africa, right? And this was also the top news. And abducted resonates with alien activity, right? This keyword. Then you have, I started mentioning these Kessler twins again, because Kessler twins was also in the top news for their they did assisted suicide together. This became top news again some time back. And what's interesting is that, I mentioned this before, that Kessler syndrome is when there is space trash, and at the same time you had Chinese astronauts kind of trapped in space because their return spacecraft became damaged from wait a moment. Yeah, it became damaged from from debris in space, you know, and this is called Kessler effect. Let me wait. This is it, right? This is Kessler syndrome is when you have objects in space, okay? So um okay. Um the Vatican reported on these schoolgirls that was abducted. Um, and anyhow, then we had the the green, you know. Let me mention the green also. So Hong Kong fire was the Hong Kong building was covered in a green cloth. Um, During Thanksgiving, you had Green Bay Packers playing versus Detroit Lions in the Thanksgiving game. And you know, I've talked about Detroit on my channel some time back. Okay, it's kind of a theme back in time, like quite a lot years back. Okay, um, then you had Green Color in Venice by Greta Thunberg, and the reason why I'm mentioning the green is because you have this concept of green little green little men, you know, the idea that aliens are green, okay? So Greta um, Greta here in so this is November 25th, this news. Yeah, plane crash in Greene County. And then it was also Green Wednesday, November 26th, at the same very close to, you know, the Thanksgiving game. You had Green Wednesday, you know. Let me just show that to you. Green Wednesday date. Yeah, so it's November 26th. So there is a pattern when it comes to this. Yeah. And meanwhile, you had this all the stuff around Taylor Green, right? There were this conflict between Trump and her. So what's interesting is that on November 2nd, she was in an interview where she started talking about that she believes she started talking about extraterrestrials, and you have this article about that from November 2nd is the article. And what's interesting is that, you know, all the green is there, and so the whole point here is that May Marjorie Taylor Greene, she was in the top news, you know, for the controversy around, like she became, you know, some kind of opponent to Trump, you know, within his own allies, you know. And so what happened is that he publicly um, withdraw his support from her, and she felt threatened, you know, from he called her what was it, lunatic, and oh, I forgot the word, you know, but um, yeah, like a betrayer or something like that, a betrayer to the country, or yeah. um, And so, you know as well as me that she was all over the news some time ago. And the point that I'm making is that it all connects to the, there is a disproportionate amount of green in the news it's been. And what I'm noticing is that no one is talking about that, and I'm thinking, again, I start to think, is anyone real at all? Are you, like, are people bots? What's the problem to see this? I start thinking, because it's so obvious to me, and also the fact that these buildings were completely covered in green. They were all green. And um, when I saw this reporting on, yeah, Green Wednesday, I think this was the day of the fire, November 26th. You had this fire of this. So on Green Wednesday, you had the fire of the green buildings. It's quite noteworthy that it was like that. Um, what more? Um, so then I started seeing some news about uh, um, Russian launch pad damaged when blasting up to space. November 27th was the that. And um, then I saw this also, that okay, the head of the Swiss right to die assisted suicide, the head of it, he also ended his life with assisted suicide. And this connects back to Kessler, the Kessler twins. Wait, where is. So here you have the Kessler twins, right? But this connects to Kessler syndrome, which is, I mean, this is so obvious. Why are people not talking about this? And I'm thinking, okay, you're not talking about this because I'm talking about this. When I talk about this, it's like, no one want to talk about that, because I don't know why. It's gaslighting, guys, because this is patterns. And so when people don't talk about it, it's like, okay, is it because they're stupid? Is it because is there something wrong with their heads or something? Like, is there a screw loose on people, or why don't they see the interconnectivity? It's weird to me. So this became top news. So this is November 30th, that the founder of Swiss assisted suicide thing did it himself, which, as I argue, increases the meaningfulness of the Kessler twins, and in addition, it increases the meaningfulness of the Kessler syndrome, that is at the same time um, connecting to what happened to the um, return spaceship of the Chinese astronauts. Okay. So here is it. 3 Chinese astronauts were stuck aboard Tiangong space station this month when their return craft sustained damage. So that there's a damage in the return craft due to space debris, it's the same debris as the Kessler. It's the Kessler syndrome, which, as I said, connects to the Kessler twins, um, whom did this assisted suicide. And so maybe you ask me, what's the point of this? What's the point of having? Let me add that, like some kind of summary here, like what's going on here. Well, we have alien stuff. Um, okay, let me do like that. We have alien stuff. We have green, and we have this. And what I start to think about is, my mind is thinking about what's happening here, like what is this about? And I'm thinking that this is about the consequences of an an invasion. So, um, occupational, like behavior, um, or oh, sorry for my misspelling, um, creates fear, and this induces the um, mass hysteria or whatever. I maybe I shouldn't, it induces this, okay? Um, so what would make this occur? Well, I don't even know if I should say what I think. It's like what I see in front of me here is just so freaking absurd, and I'm starting to like doubt my own intuition, because my intuition is saying like, uh, ding 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 ding, no no no, this is very serious. Like my intuition is saying that for whatever reason. I mean, if you look right now, yeah, you see nothing, right? There is nothing there, right? But my intuition and the patterns that I see are telling a different story. Okay, so the story that I see, take this as just a parenthesis, okay, is that aliens basically all over the but please take this maybe with a grain of salt, okay? I this is just what my intuition is saying right now. So, the Earth, okay? So all over the map. But this, I mean, this seems a bit too much. This, I mean, this seems too much. So maybe I shouldn't say like that. Maybe it's a bit less than that, but still, maybe that's some kind of thought that, um, I'm thinking about. What would people think if they saw something really clear? If it would be something that everyone agrees that this is there, okay? So people would believe that it's all over the world, even if it isn't. So let's write it like that instead. People believes that it is all over the world. It gives that impression. Okay, let's write like that. Okay. Anyhow, guys, um, and I want you to know that I've been right about so many things, and it's so weird that it's not talked about. And yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, this is like 100% gaslighting against me. Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, it hurts. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's working. You know what you're doing, it's working. I feel something. You know, when I find consistency and when I repeatedly show you the evidence for what I do. Yes, you are hurting me when you deny that, and it hurt, like it feels, inside of me when that happens, even if it's not clearly a single person, it hurts. That's how it is. And um but what I do have on my side is evidence, and I have a track record when it comes to these things. um so maybe maybe there could be some thing here. I really don't believe that this is about immigration. Maybe you could believe that. uh, let's add that. Maybe you could uh, imagine that all of this is a, a pattern about aliens, as in immigration, right? And all of this is about that. Some kind of, I mean, you have the news about the green cards from 17 countries in the US that President Trump is um, calling into, like he's making this investigation of green cards that has already been given out, okay? And you could see that as some kind of mm, suddenly an influx of people that becomes illegal aliens, right? And that this would lead to, okay, um, but that it would lead to that, you know. But I don't think so. I think, I mean, I've been thinking about this kind of thoughts, and when it comes to the drawings that I do, because I make drawings of this, when it comes to, the truth, as I see it, okay, the truth is always, let me just, let's clear this out a bit, okay? So the truth is always, I don't know how to spell that, always um, metaphorical and literal at the same time. I know this for a fact. This is just something that I've seen so many times, that something is both metaphorical and literal, which means that yes, indeed. What this means is that yes, indeed, the fact that you have the green card thingy in the US um, doesn't exclude the alien as in outer space. Um, yeah, it doesn't exclude that, because this is as I say, you know, when we see one of these, when you already see a pattern of um, Trump questioning the um, the green cards of 17 countries already given out in the US, so it's people living there, right? And this is the metaphorical, because an alien can be metaphorically interpreted as immigration, right? But when it comes to, as I said, when it comes to this kind of truth that is a fractal, you know, some kind of fractalized thing around it, some kind of living thing almost, you know, some kind of living truth, you know, then it's deeper. It's so much deeper. It is, um, yeah. So I do believe that there's going to be top news about this um, eventually, and I think it's going to be a big deal. You know, you have seen the silly stuff so far. Some in the top news, some silly stuff around, what was that? Three-eye atlas, right? Three-eye atlas. That. It was never clear, that stuff. Um, so it doesn't have to be that. It could be something else. Just the idea of I don't know exactly how it's going to be, um, but the fact that the whole U.S. Um, how do you say, the world stage, the news in the US circled around Marjorie Taylor Greene versus Trump for quite some time. And, you know, then you had all the green, you know, you had at the same time. It is weird. It is weird. And this is something that decoders should be able to see. But for some reason, it's for some reason, it is there is some kind of I don't know, it's like I don't know what to say. It's like this is so obvious. You see here the color here, it's green. The houses in Hong Kong, they were green. It all connects, okay? This was the top news, um, and uh, yeah. So I think I should end this video now. um, Kevin Spacey was also suddenly in the top news, and I noticed that movie about when he is an alien, and yeah, that's on my birthday. Also, you know, I talked about Kim Kardashian on my channel. Maybe I shouldn't talk about that. Maybe I shouldn't talk about her. Maybe not. Uh, so there were some. So it's just in the news that she made some kind of brain scan, and she had holes in her frontal lobe, just something. And all of this started around her brain problem. It started also on my birthday. I mean, it became news. So October 22nd. I've been talking about her, so uh, it actually, um, yeah, so um, on October 22nd, the premiere of the Kardashians, her, uh, it was revealed that she had brain aneurysm, and now, now she has like, now in November, like this is December right now, right? But at the end of November, she started getting holes in her brain. And I've been talking about her, and yeah, I mean, this happened on, yeah, it's just, there's something about that, the way that I don't like to talk too much about myself, actually. There's so much, it's so obvious, this thing um about my birthday, it's so obvious. And now when I talked about her, because I made the drawing, I made this drawing earlier in my two drawings back. I made something, and she started connecting into that. And now she's like connected to me, in some way, with some kind of brain problems. Yeah, that's strange. Um, Anyhow, so I I believe that, as I said, yeah, no, I guess I'm done with this video. I think that's it. Um, so there's something about, let me just end by saying something, some kind of summary. Okay. Um, there is some seriousness around this, that the the head of, like, the founder of Swiss assisted suicide does it himself. Meanwhile, you have the Kessler twins, and you have the Kessler syndrome. And this is more or less at the same time. And when people ignore this, seriously, when people ignore this, I just don't know what to do. Like, I don't know, like, what are people? What are there anyone at all on the internet? Is anyone there? I don't know. But I guess, when it comes to what I'm doing, um, I do believe that there is a sense of, um, you know, I just keep going with my stuff, and I do believe that ignoring consistency has a price. Like, it has a price on the mind, um, and to consciousness itself. I do believe so, that what I should do is to keep going, even if the world seems like, unable to see, unable to think. I just should keep going, because it's a pattern. Like, I actually see a pattern here, and I do see that very early on. So I just have to be confident in what I do. Like, yeah, that's all. And then everything else will just fix itself, in the form of People that ignore consistency and doesn't encourage it. Well, I don't know what's going to happen to these people eventually. I don't know. Um, so, but yeah. Um, so it's quite obvious here that there is like this is actually a a thing that is going on, and it's all tying together. Let's add that Greta Thunberg also. Greta Thunberg. If you haven't seen that, you should look at it. And it was other people also there doing other things, and this also being green. It's so obvious to me when I say that. No, I shouldn't repeat myself too much. I think it's time to end this video. I'll just show you that again with Greta Thunberg. If I can find it. Ugh. Never mind, you'll see it yourself. So yeah, um, I didn't prepare anything for this video because I'm not. Yeah, honestly, the gaslighting is working. Um, so um, that's how it is. It works. Well, what's going on here on YouTube and the internet? It works. The way that um, my drawings are not spreading, it works. When you do like that, it hurts. It's a pain, when there is logic and there's evidence, it's painful to me. um yeah, but I'll just keep going and believe in the truth, believing in the truth, and believing that I can be strong on my own, and believing that my strength is great, like it is. It can overcome this this situation. Yeah. So that's it. See you guys.